When I think about Dr. King, I think about fighting for equality for everyone.
Back before, I was born, people that looked like me weren't even allowed to snowboard. And even now to this day, snowboarding is a predominantly white sport.
I think you can learn a lot from somebody, how they snowboard. The way you ride really gives off how you are as a person.
And maybe when I get older, I could teach more people that were like me when I started. I feel like the world needs more people that would encourage other people to do stuff.
We are a 501c3 youth organization that teaches life skills, but also career pathing using the vehicle snowboarding. For Shred, we didn't want to stop at just providing access to the mountain for snowboarding. What we wanted to do is create the awareness of the culture, the awareness of the industry, and the awareness of other opportunities within the industry for our youth.
If it wasn't for Shred, it would be hard, especially for financial reasons, to pursue snowboarding as a sport.
What we do is we provide everything free of charge. We provide the outerwear, our mountain partners provide the lessons, the lift tickets, the rentals.
They help to break down some of the key barriers of entry into the sport and make sure that everyone has access.
I've been snowboarding for 5 years. I love snowboarding, I love doing what I do on the mountain. When I'm on my snowboard, I feel free. I feel like I can be myself.
I'm a black guy from Central Ohio, so I never grew up snowboarding. A lot of the youth that we work with live in areas where they're not familiar with anything beyond their 10-block radius. And also the lack of representation, because they really don't see a lot of us in the sport. I mean, I make the analogy to the Williams sisters. I make the analogy to Tiger Woods, is that someone introduced them to that sport. We have a mantra, fear, fail, flow. The fear part for a lot of our youth is actually the fear of failure, the fear of trying. We're ingrained through the educational system to think that failing is a bad thing, so without understanding that failure is the part of growth. The biggest thing is building that resiliency so they understand that there's not an obstacle that they can't overcome if they choose to try to.
I've had a couple bad falls. Even though it hit me and even though it knocked me down, Shred definitely found a way to pick me back up.
I have definitely learned to know your limits and overcome your fears, to know that everything's gonna be fine.
Snowboard is not simply an activity, it's not simply a sport, it's actually a culture.
You don't have to be the best at snowboarding. That's not really what Shred is about. It's just, building that community with people, bettering yourself as a snowboarder and as a person too. So I would encourage anyone who's young to try it out. You never know where it'll take you.
I've made so many really meaningful connections, including friends that I'll have for life through snowboarding.
I still think there's work to do. The industry acknowledges that there's work to do, and fortunately we're one of those organizations that can provide that guide star. We can't say that we're creating the diversity in the industry and if we're not partnering with diverse companies. So it's a very conscious effort on our part to seek out those companies and those individuals in all lines of work that we're doing to create that change that Dr. King sought.